who here is looking to learn a bit of strategies in regarding to business or life to have a great 2017? Okay, cool. And raise your hand if you're just simply here to support Ben. Okay, come up. Thank you for your honesty. And and who came here?
He supports your destiny.
Of course, of course. And who came here because you got dragged in by someone else? No one. Excellent. So you're here by choice, and that's what I love. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Ik. I'm the co-founder, along with Jonathan, of Limit Lifestyle. And what we do is we specialize in setting people free from the prison of the unconscious mind so that they can live their true nature and purpose, a life of freedom with no limits. And speaking about prison of unconscious mind, how does that work? And when we speak about freedom, what really is freedom? Who would love to have a life of freedom, by a show of hands? Okay, who's already living that life? A couple of you. Some of you not so sure. What is freedom? And what gives you real freedom? Freedom really is just a sense of being. It's a state. It's like happiness. How do you achieve happiness? Most people will say, when you have this, when I have that, I'll become happy. But actually, it's just a choice. You can choose to be happy right now just by smiling. If I smile to you, I smile at you, you'll be happy. You smile back. It's a state. It's a choice. And so is freedom. But the sense of freedom that we get is very limited, depending on our level of awareness. Because you don't have freedom if you don't have choice. Who would agree with me on that? If you don't have any choice in life, you don't really have any freedom. Now here's the question. How do you know the choices you have right now are your real choices? How many of you ever question yourself that the choices I make today are really my choices? Are you living the life you choose to live, or are you living your life according to society's values? Are you living life according to your parents' values? Because you see, here's a powerful thing regarding what Shamila spoke about earlier on, is you don't know what you don't know. And one of the key things I've learned in my life when I first started on my journey in personal development and entrepreneurship is that to always be a student in life, to always keep your mind open. There's always something you can learn. Because as Mark Twain says, it's not what you know, it's not what you don't know that gets you in trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. The moment your mind says, I know that, you're in trouble. I can guarantee you're in trouble. So it's not so much of what you know. Because this is how much we know, right? And this is how much we know we don't know. And then we got this whole pie chart, at least 99% of the rest of the knowledge in the world, that we don't know anything about. So what are we not knowing? That comes down to awareness. So today the theme I'm going to be talking about is on resistance. And I want to bring to your awareness today about resistance and what really holds us back in life. Because without awareness, you don't have choice. And without choice, you don't really have freedom. That's all. You want freedom? That's the formula. Get self-awareness, then you have a choice. Real choices. And then when you can make those choices, that's when you have real freedom. Resistance is a really funny topic, and I love talking about resistance because I tackle it in a kind of an angle that no one really approaches, and that's the angle of consciousness. You see, I talk about the prison of your unconscious mind. We're all prisoners. You, sitting right here, are prisoners. And we're prisons to our mind, our unconscious mind. And here's the thing, a lot of people, by the way, one of my New Year's resolutions, just so that you know, is that I'm going to make a lot of haters this year. I'm going to get a lot of haters. And the reason why is because there's a lot of myth going on, floating around in the personal development world that just isn't true. With all due respect, it's not about disrespecting them. It's just that they just don't work, because people listen to things, right? People like you come here, sit here. You want to learn. You want to learn some strategies, some techniques to really help your life. The problem is there's a lot of fluff out there that people just take as gospel, and they don't work. And I can tell you a few of them that don't work later on, to highlight a few examples. However, what doesn't work, I can tell you this now, are concepts. Concepts that can't be proven. Concepts that can't be demonstrated. If someone gives you a concept and they can't prove it or demonstrate it in a practical manner or illustrate it, then I would question it. I'm not saying it isn't true, but I would question it. I would ask that person, have you ever tried it? In what ways can you demonstrate it to me? Now, I make it fundamentally important in our company, in our training. What we do is we provide leadership training and intuition training. And I make it as a fundamental that we don't teach concepts. We don't train you on concepts, we teach premises. And premises, like in any science, is an assumption. It's like a concept. It's an assumption of how something works. But I can show you by demonstration, and I can illustrate to you how it works, and it works. Who would be interested in knowing a premise now that really, really works? I need a volunteer. Who's brave enough? Someone probably of my size that's relatively strong.
I do.
You do it? Awesome. Let's give them a round of applause. Just so for those who don't know you, your name?
Parvis.
Parvis. Let's give Parvis a round of applause. Parvis, are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right.
You're right. Okay, so I'll be on this side of you. Now, Parvis, I want you to think of, just look at a spot. Just look at a place that you want to focus on.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah? Can you
Yep.
point? Can you let me know what it is? Point it out to us.
The fella's head on the Fix My Business.
The fella said, John's gorgeous, handsome-looking head, right? All right, okay, so John's head, that's your point. Now, here's a metaphor, guys. John's head over there is, sorry, remind me of your name. Parvish, sorry. Parvish's goal. That's a metaphor for Parvish's goal. All right? So here's the thing, Parvish. I'm going to say to you that to just focus on that. Okay?
Okay.
Now, hold out your hand. Now, now forget all of that. Forget your goal for the meantime. Okay. Now I want you to do something. Now I want you to just do whatever you think you can to stop me from bending your arm. Okay.
From bending.
From bending your arm. Okay. So just
All right.
no, chill out. No need to be so angry. Relax.
Okay.
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 So
Yep.
are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to bend your arm and do whatever you can to not allow me to
Sorry,
bend your
bend.
arm. Yeah, but not to bend it any further.
Any further?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it? Ready?
Yep.
Okay. No cheating. Let's try it.
Oh,
again.
you said anything.
He's very strong. Okay. Awesome. So, how was that experience for you?
How was it?
How was it?
Pretty easy.
Pretty easy?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you still have to struggle a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm just weak. Now, I want you to just focus on that goal. Just
Okay.
focus on that spot.
Yep.
And I want you to forget everything that you just imagined. Just forget everything. And just imagine now keep it strong and sturdy. And just imagine there's a white beam of light shooting out like a laser beam. Shooting out of your fist, hitting at that spot. So now the laser beam is aiming at that spot.
Yep.
Now don't let the laser beam move, okay?
Okay.
I'm just going to try and bend your arm again. Just don't let the laser beam move from that spot. Are you ready? Okay. Woo. Okay. Shake it off. How was that compared to before?
That it was different because I was focused on the. I wasn't focusing on what I was doing with my arm.
Okay. Any other thing you want to point out to everyone else?
Still stronger than you?
You feel stronger than me? Does it feel more effortless?
Yeah.
It feels more effortless.
Yeah.
Okay, so try that again. Now imagine a white laser beam shooting out, aiming at the head.
Okay.
Right? Do not let that laser beam move or budge even an inch.
All right.
I'm going to do what I can to just bend your arm.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Go. Now think what you have to do to stop me. Right, give him a round of applause. Shake it out. So why did I do that exercise? Premise is your focus creates reality. That's it, your focus. It's your focus that creates your reality. And I can demonstrate that just by that exercise alone. And when you focus on your vision, when you focus on your end result, and what Shamila says your goals, right? You focus on your goals. You're so focused on it that everything seems effortless. Now, a concept that exists in the floating personal development world, and before I even say it, I want to use, I want to highlight this fact that words have power. Certain words have power, and it's not just so much of what you call synthesis, or the different definition. Is actually how you see it. And a lot of the thing in the personal development world is they say your thoughts create your reality. That isn't so true. If you're talking about thoughts in terms of electrical impulses, I had a great discussion with my dear friend Chris Richard. His definition of thought is just the impulses, the electrical impulses that go through your brain. Cool. I'm talking about thoughts in terms of rationalization, what you think, the thought process behind what you think you have to do. Because in human being, we have this innate desire to know how it is. What's the meaning of life, for example? What is the meaning of life? What's the meaning of this? What's the meaning of a cup? It's in human nature to want to know how it is. And that comes from the ego. The ego needs to know how it is in order to survive, to keep itself safe and secure. So the thought itself does not create reality. It's actually the focus. If you're thinking about something and you're focused on that and you're putting all your energy in that end result, that is what's going to create your reality. Not just thinking. That's why the law of attraction, a lot of people, they don't really get the law of attraction, you know. They think they just think about it and just focus on that thought and it will manifest. It doesn't work that way. You've got to take action as well. But the action is created from emotion. If you don't have emotional attachment with your thoughts, which aligns with your heart, you're not going to create anything. So that is one of the myths. And I want to bring it back to resistance now. The main talk of today is about resistance. How many of you have a goal that you felt resistance to for the past year? And maybe you haven't done it, or maybe you've been procrastinating or trying to be perfect. Who's, by a show of hands, who's got a goal, who's not? Yeah? Okay, can just shout out a few resistance in any form. Just shout out. Resistance in any form. Who's got, what's been stopping you?
Focus on the present.
Focusing on the present. Too much on the present, like the now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Too much on how.
Too much on how. So as a result, you get confused?
As a
Or
result, you don't take any action.
you don't take
Because
any
you
action?
don't know what action to take. So it's
Right.
almost like you're waiting to know how to.
So waiting for, okay.
Yeah.
I'll say permission. You're waiting for some sort of permission.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Worrying about what other people think.
Worrying about what other people think. Thank you. That's a good one.
The uncertainty of the outcome. You do go uncertain.
Sorry.
The uncertainty of the outcome.
Uncertainty of the outcome. What if? Anyone else? Does anyone? Self-doubt. Failure. Fear of failure.
Maybe not being clear about your why.
About your why.
Yeah.
Discomfort. Oh, okay, interesting. Resistance is a really, really interesting one, because here's the thing about resistance. Everything that you just said is all forms of resistance in one way or another. And resistance manifests itself in many, many forms. And I'm coming from the angle of, again, the ego. So just entertain this idea for a meantime. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not here to preach any gospel to you, and I'm not here to preach a belief. It's just an idea to help you think, to help you put things into more perspective. You can, whether you believe in a higher power, or God, or a universe, or call it whatever you want. Okay? Ultimately, we have an essence. If you want to be more scientific, call it the heart. There's always the battle between the mind and the heart. And the heart is the representation of your soul, of God, of that divine power, that part of you that knows what it is you want in life, the part of you that you love. You know what you love. Now the mind is the opposite. The mind represents the ego, the need to know how, the need for knowledge, your identity, who you think you are. That keeps you separate from other people. You need to be unique. You need to be different. And here's the thing. Here's something you guys should write down as an entertainment. So just to entertain your thought for a second. Your ego and your soul, or else your mind and your heart, both wants the same thing. They do. They do both want the same thing. But your ego doesn't believe you're